11-year-old stepson is claiming her constitutional rights are being violated in jail. In a 4-page handwritten letter to the judge, Stauch is claiming physical and emotional abuse at the inmates and the El Paso County jail staff. Over 15 plus times I have been abused in transport, Stauch writes, detailing injuries to her ribs and head. Stauch goes on to say that her diet was changed at the jail because of what she refers to as the poison comments, writing, "I received threats in my peanut butter because I provided evidence of not only my innocence, but evidence that will show who it was through my private investigator." Stauch reported her stepson Gannon missing from his Colorado Springs home on January 27th. She told investigators that Gannon never returned home after playing with friends. Police opened a missing persons investigation while the community took action to help bring Gannon home.
Whatever we could do just to show them that we're thinking of them and, they're in our thoughts and prayers.
Investigators examined countless phone, GPS, and home security records and a surveillance video from a neighbor's house.
Well, it just didn't seem right the way she was talking. Okay. If my child is missing, I'm going to face the camera and talk to you. That you see the pain in my face.
Search warrants uncovered blood, matching Gannon's DNA in his room and in the garage near Leticia's car. The evidence was enough for an arrest. 2 weeks later, Gannon's remains far from his Colorado home in Florida near the Escambia River, 15 miles north of Pensacola. Gannon was gone, but his legacy still lives on in the hearts of family and neighbors.
We're here to talk about the life. We want to recognize his death, which is a painful reality, but we also want to celebrate his entry into eternal life.
Last month, a memorial service was held to honor Gannon's short life.
Gannon, a.k.a. G-Man, has touched the lives of many, and his story has captured the hearts of people from Colorado, South Carolina, and every state in between.
A group of family and friends gathered at the church while hundreds more paid their respects watching via live stream. Gannon's father, who has been too grief-stricken to talk publicly, summoned the strength to speak at the memorial.
I come before you today a broken man, celebrating the life of my precious, premature, and prepossessing son. Every parent wishes for their children to be successful, making their mark on this world in life or in death. Unfortunately, my sons came in the form of the latter.
As Gannon's loved ones prayed for strength and the grace to forgive, Leticia Stauch writes the same, saying the judge's intervention will help her move past this trial in life, forgive those who persecuted and afflicted me, continue to be a soldier for Christ, and repair my mental, most importantly, grieve. Noticeably absent from her 4-page letter is the name of the little boy she claims she grieves for. Gannon Jacob Stauch.
I listened to that and I'm wondering, she also told an incredible story about what happened that day. And, part of those things seemingly have been proven false already, but we'll see what happens at the trial. Let's bring in Ted Rollins. Ted, when it comes to making these types of complaints, I have to question her credibility, and I'm probably questioning the credibility of some of the allegations that she's making about the way she's being treated. I don't know what's happening in the jail, but I do know that there was quite a story that was told to police and investigators, and a story that changed more than once.
Yeah, from the beginning, she has had many tales, if you will, and they turned out to be tall. At first, she said Gannon was kidnapped, and even had a description of the kidnapper, and then from playing with his buddies. And now she is saying that she's being treated poorly, and frankly, she might be. The crime that she's accused of sometimes is not looked upon very nicely by other inmates. Bottom line is here, the judge isn't going to do anything about it, can't really do anything about it. This letter should have been sent to the head jailer in the county jail where she is being held, or go through her attorneys.
Yeah, that would be more effective. But I think what it may actually shed more light on is her mental state, because that's an issue right now in this case, right? Is her competency. Until she's declared competent, this case cannot move forward.
Yeah, she was very lucid for especially the beginning part of it, and she's an educated woman, has a master's degree. In the middle, it's talking about the peanut butter messages in the peanut butter, and she seems to go in and out. And this letter could obviously end up in court. She wouldn't mean it to, but it could be part of the record at some point and be used to either help or hurt her, and depending on what her preferred outcome is in terms of the mental stability. She claims she's fit as a fiddle, though, and says that she needs to get out because she has this master's degree and she wants to put it to use.
How about venue here? It's a community that, I mean, the people in the community were searching for little Gannon. What impact does all of this have, perhaps, on whether or not this case will be heard, where it happened, or whether or not we'll get a change of venue here?
They want to change a venue, but theoretically, this letter could actually be used against her in this argument for a change of venue, because the judge could say, listen, you're bringing more attention to this case by writing me a letter. And in fact, in the letter, there's a part where it's clear that she is writing the judge and not her attorneys. She basically says that she's extending her concern to you, talking about the judge, as a first step in this, because my attorneys have refused to let you know about it due to the public knowing. So this could backfire on that change of venue portion, because the judge could say, listen, you're bringing more attention to yourself. There's no need to change the venue.
And Ted, I mean, go through some of the cases that we've covered through the years, and even just in the last year or so at the New Court TV, when you have these people who are writing letters directly to the judge in whatever format, that's usually just a red flag by itself about what's going on upstairs. And I am not that optimistic about the chances of this thing moving quickly out in Colorado because of that.
Yeah, look at Florida. He was writing the judge, talking about the conditions, talking about cockroaches, talking about transport. The heat was on when he was being moved back. Same kind of thing, where you have somebody whose mental stability definitely is going to be scrutinized, because frankly, seems to be something going on there.
Yeah, and I'm wondering, I know she has a daughter who was kind of like in the mix and was missing and was kind of, and I don't know, if she's having contact with the outside or not. And it's sad on the one hand, but the real tragedy is Gannon and his family. And it was nice to hear that Al Stauch was able to speak, because when this first happened, he wasn't even able to speak publicly, but had to be able to gather himself. And we know how much he loved his little boy. And I can't imagine the torment that he is going through, because he married Leticia. I mean, at some point he was in love with her and trusted her with the most important thing in his life, which is this little boy.
Yeah, and even basically reunited for the purposes of finding Gannon with her ex and Gannon's father. She said the same thing. She said, I trusted this stepmom, got to know her, and I trusted her taking care of my child. And it just goes to the level of deception. And maybe if there was mental illness there, that she was hiding it. But there were some signs that she was unhappy. She was blaming her husband at the time for sheltering her life. So there was a lot going on in that woman's mind before this even happened, which I'm sure will also come out in trial. But you're right, it is absolutely heartbreaking to know that this couple, even though they were divorced, both trusted that woman to take care of little Gannon.
All right, Ted Rollins, we're going to start. I know you have a special treat for everybody, so we'll talk to you in just a little bit. Thanks so much.